I had to literally see Sundar Gopal Prabhu's message. Where did we leave and what did we do in the last class?
6th, Prabhu, 6th of
Yeah?
December.
6th of December. Okay, Prabhuji remember. 6th of December. So it's been more than 5 weeks, I guess. So I found out we did 41 to 48 in last class. So we'll do a quick recap and then we'll start from this Jnana Yoga to pure devotion service today. Okay, so before we start, we'll chant Mangalacharan and then we'll start the class. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavansha Shri Rupam Sagrijatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitansha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sate Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarivascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Also, before we start, maybe we can consciously today, all of us can say Vaishnav Pranam to each other because this is a Vaishnav Seva and this is the first Seva of this year in this group. So we'll just seek each other's blessings before we start our today's Yagya. Vancha kalpatarubhascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri. So please give your blessing so that we can continue this yajna for this year nicely for the pleasure of Gopinath and all of you. Hare Krishna. Okay, so we'll just do a quick recap and see how we can do. Even if you don't remember, it's fine. So 41 to 48, as we see in this guide here. So worshipping Krishna through one's work. So we're still reading Karma Yoga. So this whole 2 sections, basically how we can go from Karma Yoga to Jnana Yoga and come to Bhakti Yoga. So whole chapter is giving us the direction how to go to Bhakti Yoga, no matter where you are. So particularly this section is how we can worship Krishna through one's work, which is Karma Yoga, and connecting with Bhakti Yoga. So 1841, I'll just quickly say this one. It's a very quick one. So talking about 4 varnas, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, and how praviviktani means due to their subhava, their work is divided. Now, next 3 verses will describe the qualities of different varnas. So first verse here, 42, will describe 9 qualities of Brahmana. Then 43 will describe some qualities, 7 qualities of Kshatriya. And then 44 will describe qualities of Vaishya and Shudra. So let's start 42. Bhakti Vijaya Mataji, you've been hiding behind. Maybe you can start. Some qualities of Brahmana, you can say, Mataji. Whatever you can remember. If you don't, it's fine.
Yes, Prabhuji. So as the verse says, Shama, Dama, Tapa, Shaucham. So Shama is peacefulness. Dama is self-control, and Tapa is, of course, the austerity, and Shaucham is the cleanliness or the purity.
So Dama, if you have to say in a general word, it's a sense control. And Shama is the mind control. So ideally, mind should be controlled, but most of the time, mind is not controlled, but at least we should control the senses. So Shama and Dama, Brahman has both. Very high situation. He has full. The word Jitatma is used many times. Jitendriya is used many times, which means he has full control of his indriyas and his mind. Thank you, Mataji. Shantir Arjavam, maybe someone else can say Akhand Rasa Prabhu or Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So the
Hare Krishna.
second quality is tapa, austerity, and shaucham, cleanliness is also another quality. Also, another thing I just wanted to mention is the Brahmana Varna is defined not by birth but by qualities one has. So one can be a very low birth like Shudra, but by his qualities he can achieve the status of Brahmana.
Can you give the reference of this statement, Prabhu, while he has said that? From Bhagavad Gita, I'm asking, not from any other book.
Chaturvarnyam Maya Srishtam.
Thank you.
Gunakarma.
So it says Chaturvarnya Maya system, Guna Karma. So as you said probably correctly, it's based on Guna and Karma. Janma is not mentioned anywhere for the Varna. It's the Guna, which is important. Thank you, Prabhu. Yes, you can continue, Prabhu.
And another quality is like Shanti is and Arjavam, which is pridelessness and tolerance. And mainly the main function of Brahmana is to cultivate knowledge about scriptures and propagate that knowledge to others so that they can also follow the path of scriptures, basically.
Okay. So when you say main duties of Brahmana, so for that, there are 6 duties mentioned, and most of you would know that. So Patan, as Prabhuji said, Patan means to read, to study. Patan and Patan. So Patan means to teach. So he reads and he teaches. That's Brahmanical. Yajan. Yajan means to worship. So he does the worship and he acts as a purohit for others as well. Yajan. Dan Pratigraha. Dan means Pratigraha means he accepts the charity and he gives the charity. So a Brahman is suppose need of 4 chapatis for his meal, and if he gets 10 chapatis, what does he do with the 6? Put in the fridge for tomorrow. That's what we do. That's why we are not having that quality. So he doesn't do that. For his next meal, he is dependent on Lord. Is completely dependent. And many Babajis, if you see in Vrindavan, they don't even have a plate. They are called Karpatri. Karpatri means whatever bhojan, prasadam they get in the hand, they accept it and that's it. They don't keep anything for their next meal of 4 o'clock snack or maybe dessert for 9 o'clock. Nothing like that. So they accept what they need for their body or family maintenance. There's no problem. And then they give the rest away if there is excess. And if they don't get whatever they need, what do? They fast. Today I didn't get any bhiksha, no problem. That's Brahman. He's not getting agitated, looking at up in the sky. What, Lord Vishnu, you forgot me today. No maintenance, nothing like that. So if he gets, he happily accepts, and whatever is rest, he gives it away. So 6 duties are mentioned. But here we are mentioning about the qualities of Brahman rather than the duties. So Arjavam, as Prabhuji said, simplicity. How simple he is, Prabhupada said, he is happy to share even the most secret of his life to his enemy. Not to his friend, not to his mother, father, to his enemy. An example from Shastra, one famous example, Dronacharya. He shared how he can be killed with his enemies, so-called enemies like Pandavas. Bishop Pitama, he shared. So they were so highly qualified people, they did not bother about in living or in death. They said someone has Nakul was asked by Duryodhan, how can we win this Mahabharat war? And Nakul said, yeah, you can perform a Kal Amavasya Yagya, I can't remember the name. So a Kal Yagya or something, there's a name. And then you can win the war. And he said, thank you so much, Nakul. And then Krishna came to Nakul, why you guys always have to create more problems for me? But Nakul said, he came and asked me, what should I do? I'm supposed to respond to him. And then Krishna had to arrange a pre-Amavasya Yagya, which was considered as Amavasya Yagya. You will know all that pastime. So, but they are like, if someone has come and asked me, I have to respond truthfully, not tactfully. And we will say, do a Yagya next year. But he said, no, Amavas is day after tomorrow. Please do that Yagya and you will win the war. And Duryodhana said, thank you so much. So, Arjavam, Shanti is tolerance. What does tolerance means? Anyone can explain? So, tolerance can be of two types: a Brahmana's tolerance and a Kshatriya's tolerance. Anyone remembers a famous example? Brahman versus Kshatriya's tolerance. They are different. They are very different. Tolerance can
Karna
have
is
One understanding of tolerance is when one is prepared to bear the honor and dishonor given to him or her.
Yep, that's good. Very good.
That is one example.
Yep. And Jadharma Prabhu mentioned one name, Karna,
Karna is the Kshatriya.
but he acted as a Brahmana. And when Parashuram came to know this, bee which has stung the Karna's leg, and Karna's leg was bleeding, and he said, a Brahman cannot tolerate such an injury. He will start shouting. But because you have tolerated, you must be a Kshatriya. This is how actually Parashuram identified Karna as a Kshatriya. He said, you cannot be Brahmana. So Brahman's tolerance is not for the bodily level, although he tolerates on the body, like he can fast and all that. But his tolerance is based on his spirituality. For his spiritual goals, he will tolerate many, many things. Honor or dishonor. But Kshatriya cannot tolerate honor, dishonor. Any example? A Kshatriya could not tolerate honor, dishonor. Dhruv Maharaj, 5-year-old child, could not tolerate the dishonor. Narad Muni said, you're only 5-year-old. What is honor and dishonor? You go back home and play. He said, I am a Kshatriya. I am a Kshatriya. I cannot tolerate my dishonor. I have been dishonored and I need to get back to her. So that's a Kshatriya. That's a Kshatriya blood. Shanti, tolerant. Jnanam, Vijnanam, that we know. Anyone can say? Someone. What does Jnana mean in words Vijnana? They had multiple meanings. It's a simple one. Tanya Mataji, you remember Jnana and Vijnana?
I forgot. It's knowledge and I think one thing you know from experience and
Yes. Yes,
one
you
thing
still remember. So one you know in your head, when you apply in your life. So that's realization. Like someone says something and someone does that. So doing is called Vigyan. Gyan is just in the head. Many times they say, I've quit cigarette, but cigarette is not quitting me. So I have quit cigarette many times, but cigarette is not quitting me. So this is just the Gyan. I know it's bad for me. I'm still doing it. It's not Vigyan, but Brahman has Vigyan. Brahma Karnos, Astikyam. Sorry, one more word. Astikyam. Rupam Prabhu.
Yeah.
Astikyam.
I don't know that, Prabhu. What I was trying to say is Gyan is knowledge, as we just discussed, and Vigyan is the realized knowledge, the practical aspect.
Yes, definitely. And would you like to explain Astik? Astikyam. So Astik and Nastik, we all know that. So faith in scriptures. So now the Brahman, you see very surprisingly here is not mentioned as Bhakta. So Brahmans can also be of different category, and intrinsically Brahman doesn't have to be a devotee. Devotion is like the topmost knowledge of Vedic knowledge. Now Brahman doesn't have to be situated devotionally to Lord Vishnu to be called as Brahman. If he has other qualities, and Prahlad Maharaj says in his instructions in 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, if a Brahman has all the Brahmanical qualities, but he is against Vishnu, not he says against, he is Vimukha of Vishnu, he is not like properly attending Vishnu's and his worship, he is not good. But if a Swapach, a dog eater, a person born in a dog eater family, if he is a Vaishnava, he is much greater than a Brahmana. And that's why I say Vaishnava is higher than Brahman. Now Brahman can be a Vaishnava, it's not like cannot be, can be a Vaishnava, but he may not be a Vaishnava. A famous example from Srimad Bhagavatam, a Brahman who was not a Vaishnava.
Shukracharya.
Shukracharya, thank you. From Bali Maharaj pastime, you see, Shukracharya is a Brahman. He is performing this prohiti for Bali Maharaj, but he is not a Vaishnava. And he was not chastised by Lord Vishnu or Bali Maharaj. What sort of Brahmana you are? Lord Vishnu is here, and you are saying, don't give to Lord Vishnu. He was not chastised at all. Rather, Krishna said after the whole pastime was done, you please continue the yajna. And Shukracharya said to Lord Vishnu, continue the yajna because yajna is not complete, but by your presence, everything is complete. If you are present in anywhere, in any place, in any yajna, everything is complete. Why you're asking me to complete? But if you're telling me to complete the yajna, I will complete the yajna. So Shukracharya was not chastised for his like non-Vaishnava qualities. Why you're not a Vaishnava? He's still a Brahman, he's still performing the yajna. So Brahman, the main quality here is astikya. He should have faith. Shukracharya have faith. Actually, in 10th chapter, Krishna says, Ushna, Kavi Naam Ushna. So I am Ushna, Shukracharya, among all the Kavis. In knowledgeable people, I am Ushna. He's so knowledgeable that Krishna says he's my Vibhuti, but he's not a Vaishnava. Thank you. Let's go to the next one. Kshatriya qualities. Shauryam. Who can say? Ragvi Mataji. No.
I'm not sure, Prabhu.
No problem. Vinay Prabhu, Shauryam.
Yeah. So Shauryam is heroism, like a
What does
like
heroism mean?
act. Heroism, like he do some powerful act, like example.
Like a hero.
Yeah,
Like a hero. So hero
Like
comes in the picture, he starts beating the villain. Everyone is clapping.
Yeah.
So
here I think you explain about the example as a Hanuman in the war of the Ram and in that Ravan war. So Hanuman is the hero at that time. So
yes. So
yeah.
Hanumanji or even Arjuna was very heroic. He performed so many heroic tasks which no normal person could do it. And he was doing as per dharma. And on top of that, he was doing for the pleasure of the Lord. So heroic activity anywhere, when a hero comes in, you can take example of Hindi movie or English movie, whatever. When the hero walks in and the villain is, kidnapping someone, and he jumps in and he beats the villain and it takes the girl away. Everyone is very, very happy. So that's called heroic, saving someone. But again, as per dharma. So he's very heroic. Kshatriyas are very, very heroic. We see the example of Yayati Maharaj when he saved Devyani. Devyani was fallen into the well, and Yayati Maharaj came and helped Devyani. Tejaha. Oh, sorry, Akhand Rasa Prabhu has a question.
Okay, Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yeah, I was just wondering about the previous verse, like the Brahmanas, they may have all the Brahminical qualities, but if they are like not in favor of Lord Vishnu, they still perform the yajnas and sacrifices. So how is that allowed or possible?
Yeah, because that's why the quality of astikya is written, and we have 6 darshan in our Vedic philosophy, right?
But
all 6 darshan.
Because the yajnas are done for the satisfaction of Lord Vishnu.
But that's your highest understanding, because Prabhupada has given us from the very, very beginning. When we were in Kindi, in devotional Kindi, that's where we were taught Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You should do yajna or any activity for the pleasure of Lord. You cannot do any other thing. But that's what you are taught. But that's not the only philosophy which exists in the world. And that's why this is called material world. We have 6 darshans. Karma Mimamsa, Uttar Mimamsa, Purva Mimamsa, this Mimamsa, that Mimamsa, right? Everything is available, but not everyone is practicing devotion, because this is the Guhyatam Gyan, the most confidential knowledge of the Vedic canon. So it exists, but who can extract it? So, but Brahman doesn't have to be a devotee, but if he is, he's called a Vaishnava. So sometimes these words are interchangeably used in Bhagavatam. He was a Brahman, we say. So we understood from Brahman terms, like Bharat Maharaj, one example comes to my mind. Bharat Maharaj was doing bhiksha in his village to get his food, because he will not get food otherwise. So he was doing bhiksha. So it's mentioned in the purport, or in the lecture at least, that he was not doing bhiksha from a Vaishnava family. He was doing bhiksha from a Vaishnava family, because he will not eat anything which is not offered to Lord Vishnu. But he can't cook, right? He's a bhikshuk himself. Raghunath Das Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, they're all doing bhiksha. So, so we have to understand, Brahman can be without being a devotee of Vishnu, but he has other qualities.
Yeah, thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Rupa Prabhu.
Just to add a comment, not a question, just a comment on.
Sure. Yes.
I've seen Karma Kandi occasions where yajnas are done. They do consider Yagyapati as Vishnu. And at the very start, they offer all the benefits to Vishnu.
Mangalam Bhagavan Vishnu, Mangalam Garudhaja.
Yeah,
So
everything
they chant
happens.
that mantra.
You will see Vishnu's name is chanted a couple of times. Narasimhadev's name is also chanted. But then, yeah, there is a disconnect.
Yeah, because that's where is the Gyan. So they may have some theoretical verses to utter to start their activity, which is fine. But then I've seen one, and no names here. Sometime he'll do Bhagavad Katha, sometime do Shiv Puran Katha. Based on the customer's demand, he does that Katha. A famous Pandit in India. So again, I'm not saying he's wrong. He's a Brahman. He's a Brahman. But based on his demand from the clientele, he does that sort of Katha. So, and he does nice Bhagavad Katha, and he does nice Shiv Puran Katha as well. So it's a living, it's a profession for him, but still he is considered as a Brahman, but not as a devotee of Lord Vishnu. He doesn't have any bad habits, very qualified person, very knowledgeable person, but he does different kathas at different occasions. Okay, so let's move to Shauryam. Anyone was explaining? Heroes. Oh, Prabhuji already done that. Teja is power. So Kshatriyas have so much power, like Arjuna's Gandiv, I heard, was many thousands of kilos. When they will shoot the arrows, they will shoot with such a strength. When Jayadratha's head had to be cut off and sent to the father's lap. Imagine how are you going to shoot that arrow if you don't have teja, don't have power. Lord Ram, he cut off those 6 trees in one barn, and the arrow went around the whole earth and came back to his quiver. So much teja these Kshatriyas had. Dhritir, maybe you can unmute yourself and just quickly say, I don't have to call names. Dhriti, everyone knows Dhriti. Determination. Yes, determination.
Yes, it's the example is of Dhruva Maharaj, right? Although being a very young and is a Kshatriya, so he was very determined to follow the vows.
Yes.
That he will actually do.
And what was his intention at that stage, at least? To get revenge. At that stage, he was so determined that she has dishonored me, this person has disrespected me, I have to get back to this person with more power. Thank you, Prabhu. Daksham, that everyone knows.
Expert.
Expert in what? Not in devotion. Now here we are not saying. So a Vaishnava is very expert in.
Back in the battle. Drishtadumna is the example, Prabhu.
Drishtadumna, thank you, Prabhu. Very expert in arranging the things, because we need people to arrange the things. So they're very resourceful. They will get the job done. Daksham. Yuddhe chapi palayanam, we know that. So they don't show their back in the Yuddha. And Manusmriti says a Brahman who is not able to take early bath in the Magh month, which is January month in India, January, December month, he is not a Brahman. And a person who shows back in the Yuddha, he is not a Kshatriya. So they cannot run away. They cannot run away. Again, so much power. They will either win or die. And they are happily doing that. Danam, they do a lot of dan, charity. And Brahman used to go to the kings in earlier ages, Vedic culture. Whenever they need any money, they will just go and ask. And Kshatriyas will provide that money for that particular function. So Brahman will not keep anything with them. But for ashrama, for some students, they need some money, they will go to the kings. Ishwar Bhava here refers to not the Ishwar Bhava which a jiva has. Every jiva has that. Ishwar Bhava refers to the mentality by which they can get the job done in a bigger scale. Someone has to become the Ishwar. Raja is called Narpati. He is known as Narpati. So because he has to lead the army, he has to lead 10,000 people, he has to be like that controller of that thing, guiding them, telling them what to do, what not to do. So he has that Ishwar Bhava. Now here Ishwar Bhava does not refer to that Ishwar Bhava which a jiva has. It's the ability here, not the mentality. The ability means he can do the things. Shatram Karma Subhavjan. Okay. Last one. Krishi Goraksha Vanijam. So for Vaishya, 3 qualities are explained. Krishi, everyone understands agriculture. Goraksha, Under all circumstances, they have their primary business is to do Goraksha. Now, Goraksha was not done just for financial reasons in the earlier days, whether the cow was giving milk or not giving milk. I went to Melbourne recently, so one devotee has opened farm, and some of you would have visited that nice farm by Gaurav Prabhu. And he is bringing so many cows who were practically getting slaughtered. They just recently saved a cow which was about to get shot because after certain age or certain abilities, when it's finished in cow, they call some people and their expertise in that field. They call those people, they will come and shoot and do that job. So our farm saved this cow. They paid $3,000, which they were supposed to get, this family, and they saved that cow. It was about to get killed. And so many other cows they're saving. So the cows were not protected just for the financial reasons. Now, this cow materially doesn't have any value, but it's still cow. So Vaishyas primarily were doing that. Vanijam is business. They were doing business, but not for so much profit. Just a little profit they will take, and they were happy with that. Not like today's culture, where they give farmers, like I've heard for the milk, they give farmers like few cents a liter. And they sell it for very, very high price, and they store it, and they do so many other things. Okay, so Paricharyatmakam, this is a Shudra's Swabhava. Paricharyatmakam means he is serving or assisting the other Varnas. It's nothing to say they are the low people. This is how their mentality is, and by assisting other Varnas, they still develop very nicely. So Brahman is considered the head of the society, Kshatriya is considered the arm, Vaishyas are considered the stomach, and Shudras are considered the legs of the society. All four are contributing to the society, because we need legs, head, hand, and the stomach, all of them. We cannot walk with three things or two things or one thing. So nothing is low or high, but someone has to guide. So if our head is working properly, Brahmanas are working properly, our body will go in a good direction. If the head is corrupted, then even if your leg are very strong and your stomach is okay and have a strong baju, but you're going in a wrong direction. This is what is happening in today's society. The head is corrupted. The Brahman class is corrupted. The knowledge is corrupted. It is in corrupted hand many times. So the body is going in a different direction. I think one philosopher said, we are living in the age of guided missiles and unguided men. So our missiles are very guided. They can shoot the target very accurately, but unguided men. But we don't know where to shoot. We shoot at the wrong place many times. Okay, let's move forward. So these are the qualities of 4 Varnas. Now, 1845, very important verse for practical purposes I'm talking. Who would like to say a few words on this one? Very, very nice. Who hasn't done? Priya Mataji, would you like to say something? Hare Krishna, Priya Mataji.
Prabhuji, I'm not really sure for that.
No problem, no problem. Anyone else? Anyone? Okay, I'll do it. That's all right. Swesve karmani abhirata. Swesve refers to their own karmas, which we just discussed in last 3 verses. Swesve karmani abhirata. Rata means engaged. If they're engaged in their own karma, in their own prescribed duties, some siddhim labate naraha. They will achieve some siddhim. They will achieve the highest perfection. So just by doing our duties. So sometimes we say work is worship. But this is never mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. Work is worship. Yeah, work can become your worship if you do with the proper consciousness. Your work automatically is not your worship. If work was the worship, then whoever is doing the hardest work, he should be the biggest worshipper. And that one example is donkey. So donkey works very, very hard. So if the work was worship, he should become the biggest worshipper. But that doesn't make any sense. But work, if done consciously, in a divine consciousness, then can become your worship. Through your work, you can worship Krishna. And through the Yuddha, for example, Arjun, by shooting arrows, is worshipping Krishna. A household lady can also be a biggest worshipper of Krishna. So, sam siddhim labte nara. Now, how would you do that? Krishna says, I will explain you that. Yatha vindati tatshanu. So, it's not automatically achieved. It can be done. Yata pratit bhutanam yena sarvam itam tatam swakarmana tam abhyarcha siddhim vindati manavaha. So swakarmana tam abhyarcha. Swakarmana, you don't have to, follow any other's duty. You follow your own duty, but by following your duty, tam abhyarcha. Abhyarcha means you can worship the Lord. And now here is the famous verse 1847. Anyone remembers? 1847 is a similar verse in Bhagavad Gita with another verse. There are two verses in Bhagavad Gita which are word to word. Sorry?
335.
335. Thank you. 3.35, 335. It's all same. Thank you, bro. Answer the moment. So first two lines are exactly same. So why two verses are repeated? Anyone? Half of the verse is practically repeated. Why?
Because of the importance. It is important.
Because it's so important. Because sometimes people run away. Grass on the other side is always greener. Huh? That's why they say, my duties are very hard. My situation is very hard. Others' duties or other situation is nice. And when we go there, then we realize his or her situation actually was worse than our situation. Huh? So Krishna is saying, fulfill your duties responsibly, although it may have some vigunaha, it may have some faults, because no one is perfect in this material world. Only Krishna is perfect. So you may have some faults, your duties may have some faults, you may feel some uncomfort while performing your duty. Still perform your duty responsibly as best as possible. Another verse in Bhagavad Gita which is exactly same. 3/4 of the verse is exactly same. Another couplet.
934 and 1865.
Thank you, Prabhuji. 934. What's the verse? Manmana bhav madbhakto madhyajima namaskar. That verse is also exact repetition in 1865. 3 lines are exactly same. Thank you, Prabhu. So here Krishna says, Shreyan Swadharmo Viguna. Viguna means faultily done. Swadharma, your dharma, done faultly, still it is Shreya. It has beneficial. Paradharmat swa anushthitat. You may want to do paradharmat. Dharma here does not refer to Hindu Muslim. Why I'm mentioning that, some groups in India, they have taken this line for the people who are getting converted from Hinduism to Christianity, for example, and they show this verse of Bhagavad Gita to them. They say, okay, Shreyan Swadharmo Viguna Paradharma Swanishita. So they refer this verses as Krishna is saying, you become Hindu. So now it may have some benefits and we are not denying it, but the actual meaning of the verse is very different. It's very, very different than what they post, what they use it for. Like LIC uses this verse from 9th chapter. Yoga Shema Vahami Aham. So just taking these lines from Bhagavad Gita to apna ullu seedha karne ke liye. So what they want to prove, they are proving through Bhagavad Gita, but they may use it for the so-called right purpose, but the context is very, very different. So subhavaniyatam karma kurvan na apnoti kilvisham. Kilvisham refers to pap, sinful activities. Na apnoti, you will not receive pap if you are performing your activities as per your swabhava. Now, another verse which comes with 1847, it says, why should we do that? What is being told in 1847? Sahajam karma kauntaya sadosham api natyajed. Whatever is sahaj karma means, means janma, swabhava. So from janma, from the very beginning, whatever swabhava we have, sadosham, even if it has some faults, natyajed, please do not give up. Why? Sarva rambha hi doshena. All activities have some dosha. Some faults are there in all activities. And Krishna gives a very nice, beautiful analogy. Dhume agnir ivavrataha. Dhuma refers to smoke. Agni refers to fire. If there is a fire, there will be a smoke. But because there's a smoke, a lady will not stop cooking. Oh, there's so much smoke coming, so I will not cook. No. She will still continue cooking, or a person will still continue cooking regardless of the existence of smoke, and he will expert the smoke expertly. So many people are very expert in handling the smoke, and they take the best uses of Agni. Although initially a lot of smoke can come, even for while doing yajna, the smoke may come initially. So the smoke is considered like a fault, and Agni is considered like your karma. So your karma may have some faults, but you expertly handle the faults and continue doing your karma, because If you do that, you will get purified and you will not get any sinful reaction. Na apnoti kilbisham. The kilbisha, the pap will not come to you. Okay, we have two hands here. So Priya Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
I was just reading the purport here about 18.47. I just wanted to just actually clarify that it says that in a a man who is not and is by nature attracted to the kind of work by Shudras should not artificially claim to be a Brahmana. So actually, we are all really like we are just. I mean, myself really, but like we are at the still stage at the Shudra stage. Like we are still working. No.
Yes, Mataji. So at this stage, it's all mixed up. There is no clear varna. It says in our ISKCON temple in the morning, we can give a Bhagavatam class, which is like a Brahmana. Then we can go and clean the toilet at 9 o'clock, which is like a Shudra. Then we go out to raise money for the new temple, which is like a Vaishya. And in the evening, we have a issue resolution meeting, Istagosti, which ends up with Musti Gosti as a Kshatriya administrator. So we have 4 varnas in our ISKCON, in a typical ISKCON day. We all deal with all sorts of duties. So at the moment in the current society, there's no clear distinction between the varnas, but the primary varna of all of us is Vaishnava. And the example given in Chaitanya Charitamrita by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, he said, I am neither a Brahman, I'm not a Vaishya, I'm not a Shudra, I'm not a Grihastha, I'm not a Sannyasi. Who I am? I am the Dasa Nudasa Nudasa Nudasa. I'm the servant of the servant of the servant of the gopis, who are the servant of Krishna. So our primary identity at this stage is not so much into Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, but it's into Vaishnavism. But having said that, within that framework also we may have some services which we like to do, some services which we don't mind doing, and some services we can't stand. Right? So as the occasion arises, Mataji, someone may ask you to do some seva which you don't like to do, but there's a need for it, right? So you will step in and say, okay, means I can handle that for a day or two or something like that, short period. But if I give you that seva for the rest of your life, you'll say, Prabhuji, that's too much for me. So within that framework, we identify whatever natural inclination is towards, and we assist in those sevas. Although we may also assist in other sevas which you don't like doing on a regular basis. So our identity, this external identity, will keep changing. But our primary identity, Vaishnava, is we are serving Krishna, regardless of what sort of nature of this seva is. Is that okay?
Okay, yes, because I was a little unsure where it was saying like that we should not claim to be a Brahmana, but actually, if that in that way we are giving, like if someone is good at giving classes and explaining and talking about giving Krishna Katha, so they can utilize that in the service of the Lord.
Definitely, and that can be the primary seva. Like I remember Lal Govind Prabhuji, he was giving a class somewhere in a temple, somewhere in the world. And he said, today is some special day, I can't remember the day, but he said, I would like to serve, I would like to sweep the floor of the Lord. Now he's a Brahmanical person, right? As we all know, so much knowledgeable doing this seva. But he said, people will not allow me to do that as soon as I pick up the broom. But although I would love to do it. So his Vaishnava identity does not come down just because, he's helping to clean the floor one day. I saw Gauranga Prabhu video, which many of you would have seen. He was carrying the full load of grains from truck to his kitchen warehouse, wherever it was. So although he's one of the best Brahmanas in ISKCON, but he's doing all sorts. He's cooking, he's cleaning, he's literally working on the floor with other devotees. So actually it enhances our qualities rather than, coming down, oh, I'm a Brahmana because I give classes, but today I'm working as a Shudra. Actually, it brings more humility. And that's why our primary identification is Vaishnavas. But within that, we can have services which we like to perform more often rather than other services. And everyone should do that. Identify which services you like to perform more for Krishna. My Guru Maharaj said, if you perform those services, whatever it may be, within Krishna consciousness, perform them regularly and intensely. That gives you strength to perform those services which you don't have strength to perform now. Because we are all weak. Many of us, at least I am, we are weak. Maharaj said, we're all devotees, but we are weak devotees. We are not strong devotees. So where do we get the strength from? So perform those services which you like to perform for Krishna. Although again, you can also be involved in others. Janmashtami is there. Everyone comes and cleans the kitchen. There's no one like, oh, you are a Brahman, you are a Pujari. Everyone comes, cleans, or whatever is needed for that day. But regularly, we may have some specific sections of services. Is that okay?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Vijay Gopi Mataji or Prabhu.
Sorry, Prabhu, I'm still not able to understand because it says to accept 47, Prabhu, like accept another's occupation, even though if you perform perfectly.
Yes.
I'm not able to understand that.
Okay, Mataji, just to give an example, you remember Vishwamitra and Vashishta fights? You would have watched that serial as well and maybe heard the kathas as well. So Vishwamitra, before becoming Vishwamitra, he was a Kshatriya, he was a king. And then he thought, Vashishta, I will not go into the whole pastime, probably we all know. Vashishta is more powerful, so he tried to attack Vashishta a couple of times. With all his Kshatriya powers, he could not defeat Vashishta. But later on, he thought, oh, Vashishta is just a Brahman, so I'll also become Brahman. And he went, he did some tapas, and he came back, and he was a Brahman, but he had no match to the powers of Vashishta. Then he went and regained more powers and came back. And it went back and forth, back and forth. I don't know, 10 or 20,000 years he has to do tapasya to be able to come to that level. So initially he thought, becoming Brahmana? What is this Brahman? Kshatriyas are more powerful, right? Because he had this external powers with him. Higher military skills and higher. And Brahman is just wearing a dhoti and a chadar, living in a simple hut. And doesn't look like, but Brahman is very powerful. So initially, if he quits his kingdom and his duties, which Arjun is also trying to do in this case, I will go in the jungle and ask for bhiksha, and I will not exert Kshatriya. That will not work, because as soon as you go into the jungle and anyone, he goes to someone and please give me some bhiksha and say, hey, get out, get a job. He will dishonor or speak some dishonorable words. Arjun will take out his sword. He did that to Yudhishthir Maharaj, you know that. Yudhishthir said, oh, you are carrying this Gandiv and you are a useless person. Your Gandiv is useless. And Arjun took out the sword to kill Yudhishthir. That happened within Mahabharata. So it may look like performing others' duties are very easy because my duties are difficult. But when you start doing it, then you'll know the difficulty. So initially it looks like Brahman profession is easy. Kshatriya may feel like that, or Brahman may feel Vaishyas are easy. Vaishyas may feel Shudra is easy, but nothing is easy. So based on your Swabhava, and again, many times we don't know our own Swabhava, so that Swabhava should be told by your seniors, ideally by your spiritual master. Based on your Swabhava, he will engage you in a particular seva of Krishna. And if you continue doing that as your primary service, you will get purified, elevated, and eventually go back to Krishna. Rather than changing and thinking, some people tell me, Prabhu, I can't read. And I'm like, how many days you have tried to read consistently? You read 1 day, 2 days, nothing goes in the mind actually. Nothing goes in the mind in 1 or 2 days. You have to consistently read. Now, Prabhupada books have to be read. Now, you may not have to give class, but you still have to read at least 30 minutes a day, or on an average, I'm saying, on an average. You have to read because this is necessary for every single person. There is no, oh, Brahmins have to read, Shudras in ISKCON. Just have to go to kitchen and nothing like that. There are many, many wonderful devotees. You go, they are so Brahminical in the kitchen. So we cannot say others' job is easy, so let's jump to others' job and not do our job responsibly. Even if you fail, your authorities have to change your seva. You don't, primary seva, I mean, primary seva, not normal. Some sevas we all have to do, no matter what svabhava we have, some seva we do some primary seva. So that is very, very important, because many times we jump immaturely and then we lament, oh, that one was better. I think Keshav Maharaj was saying, we say grass on the other side is always greener, but wherever you're putting the water, grass is greener on that side. And our water is our seva. So when we put our heart in that seva, then the grass will be greener. Prabhupada put his heart and soul in the seva of his Guru Maharaj. Although he had so many failures, anyone else would have stay back in India and say, okay, Hare Krishna ho gaya, chalo Vrindavan. And he was already in Vrindavan. And Guru Maharaj, thank you so much. I tried, it didn't work out in Hare Krishna. No, he kept trying. Huh? Although very, very difficult. Is that okay?
Thank you, Prabhu. Yes.
Thank you. Jai Dharma Prabhu?
Sorry, Prabhu. On the same note, like Shudra, as it has been explained, like who will be serving others, right? So,
Yes.
wouldn't in current context, like when we say dasanu, they are also kind of a Vaishnava that way, right? I mean, yeah,
No, they don't have that mentality of, that I'm developing humility by
okay,
that. No.
that
No,
way.
but this is the external profession they are doing. Like we are all Shudras in the sense, as soon as you take salary, you're a Shudra. So I'm sure all of you are working. I'm also working. I'm a Shudra.
That's one of the
Based on
reason I
that
was asking.
definition. Right? But at the work, we don't feel like I'm Dasan. It's just forced upon you. You want to be Basanu, but unfortunately, we are Dasanu, Das. We have so many bosses. But that's not what we are trying to develop at workplace. It's just we work through that role, get our salary, and get out. This is not mentality which we're trying to develop. I have to please my manager, and we please your manager for a pay rise. That's different. See, there's a purpose of life here, and this purpose of some ulterior motives. A very different thing.
Yeah, the other reason I was asking is, as we know, there is a shloka which says Janmana Jayate Shudra Samskara Bhaved Vijaha.
Yes.
So that way, everybody is born like a Shudra.
Definitely. Absolutely, because at that time we have no knowledge, nothing. When the sanskaras are given by father or guru, then you learn something. And that's why the sanskaras was given to Kshatriyas and Vaishyas as well, but not to the Shudras, because their Swabhava was like that. But many, many saints in India have got birth in a very so-called low family. But they were wonderful saints, great devotees of Lord.
Vidura is one example.
Vidura is one example. I'm remembering some Alwars. Many Alwars were so-called born in a very, very low family, but they are one of the best examples of devotion. Yeah. So it's quite different things. So earning your livelihood and developing a mentality for the purpose of life. It's a very different thing. Okay, Arupam Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Prabhu, just a side question. As we know that there are 8.4 million species of humans, total species, and 400,000 of them are different types of humans. So would you say that the Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra are the top 4 in this whole chain of 400,000? And if it's yes, where do Rakshasas, Asuras, and Yavanas stand?
Okay, good question. It's not a black and white question. So when you say 400 different types of divisions of humans, they exist everywhere, Prabhuji. So in Rakshasas also they have different divisions. Devatas also they have divisions. Sub-demigods also have divisions, like Gandharvas, one example. Charanas, Siddhas, they are considered sub-demigods. They're not full demigods. They have some powers, but they're far higher than humans, but they're not as powerful as demigods. So in different societies, they have different divisions. Like we were talking about Brahmana, there are different types of Brahmins. So very hard to say black and white here. So Brahmins will also be of different types. They will be astikyam, but they may not be devotees. Devotees also we have, first class devotee, second class devotee, third class devotee. Devotion service practice in mode of goodness, passion, ignorance. This is how we have 400,000 different types, which is a very vast thing.
Yeah.
In Asuras also there can be some devotees, like Prahlad Maharaj. He was a Daitya by birth, I mean, but devotee. Vibhishan, he was a Rakshasa, but he became a great devotee. So like that. Okay. You cannot say Rakshasa stand on 382, something like that. Okay, let's move forward. So we have covered so far our revision only. Oh, we haven't done no, we have done 48. One thing which I forgot to recap, which I just got reminded of, Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj said there's 3 types of Varnashram systems. So when we have Vedic Varnashram system, when we have Devi Varnashram system, when we have Asari Varnashram system. So Vedic Varnashram system, and I've done it in the past. I'm just recapping. So Vedic Varnashram system was in the Vedic culture, mostly in the household of Brahmanas, Brahman will take birth. In household of Kshatriya, Kshatriya will take birth, mostly. But obviously that has changed as well. Like Parashuram took birth in Jamdagni Rishi's family, but he acted not as a Brahman later on. We talked about Vishwamitra Muni, and there's so many other cases as well. So Vedic Varnashram is primarily working, acting as per their Varna. Asari Varnashram is what we currently follow, especially in India and some other parts of the world as well, where we say, okay, you are born in a Brahman family, you are Brahman, no matter what you do. And many Brahmins, you see they're drinking alcohol, eating meat and all that, but they still claim wherever there's a need, they'll say, yes, I'm a Brahman. And they will be having a glass of alcohol at workplace, you'll see, modern Brahman. This is called Asari Varnashram. They have no qualities in relation to Brahmanas, but they are acting, so-called acting as Brahman. And then we have Devi Varnashram. Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj said, this is the Varnashram which we are following. And as we explained, this is called, no matter which family you have taken birth at, but we are acting primarily as Vaishnava. Now, within Vaishnava, as I said, there can also be divisions based on your primary seva. Based on your Svabhava, your authorities may give you a primary seva. So right now, what we are trying to do, we are trying to follow Devi Varnashram. No matter which family you come from, Prabhupada said, you can all become Param Vaishnava, Uttam Vaishnava. Because this is not based on your birth, it's based on your surrender to Krishna. And this is what we are practicing through Krishna consciousness. Okay, let's move forward. So we have Jamvati Mataji and Mohit Prabhu on the call as well. Hare Krishna. Happy New Year to both of you. Nice to see you and hear you. So Mohit Prabhu is only here you are. Darshana as well. First was audio, now is audio plus video. Hare Krishna. If you're driving or something, please do not join the call. If you join the call, please do not switch on your video, although I would love to see you guys, but yeah, not if it's not safe. Okay, now we are starting from 1849. So 1841 to 48 was a section from Karma Yoga. Now we are just doing a very quick, obviously, Jnana Yoga section. So let's see what qualities Krishna is telling in this section. There's only 5 verses. I'll just go back to this guide. 49 to 55. Actually, it's practically only 5 verses, and then Krishna switches to Bhakti Yoga and spends the rest of the chapter in Bhakti Yoga. So let's read 1849. So I can see Mohit Prabhu, if you want to read. This is the first verse of the day.
Yeah, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Asakta Pute Sarvatra
Asakta Buddhi Sarvatra
Jitatma Vigata Spraha
Jitatma Vigat Ispraha
Neshkarmya Siddhim Paramam
Neshakarmam Siddhim Paramam
Sannyase Digachati.
Sanyasena Digachati.
Translation Srila Prabhupada ki jai. One who is self-controlled and disregard all material enjoyment can obtain, by practice of renunciation, the highest perfect stage of freedom from reaction. Thank you, brother.
Thank you. So as we are in the Jnana section, as you can see, Krishna is describing the characteristics of the person who should have this. So first he will describe in summary, and then he'll give some details, and we'll read from 51 to 53. He will give the details. So in this particular verse, he gives the goal and 3 characteristics. So what is the goal? Let's read the goal first. So Nashya Karmam Siddhim Paramam. So you will achieve Paramam Siddhim, the highest perfection. In what? Nashya Karma. Nashya Karma is, you can say, akarma. Akarma means the work which has no reaction. So Jnana Yogis, what do? They take sannyas, they stop the work. Through that, they think at least, will not get any reaction. So sannyasena adhigachati. So through sannyas, they achieve the highest perfection, which is Nashya Karma, which is no reaction. How do they do that? So 3 characteristics are mentioned. Asakta buddhi. Asakta buddhi means, so there's asakta and asakta. Everyone knows the difference. Asakta is attached, asakta is not attached. So buddhi is not attached. So, okay, my buddhi is not attached in meat and alcohol. Suppose I say, Krishna says, Sarvatra. So your buddhi, intelligence should not, my buddhi is only attached with money or power or name and fame. No, Sarvatra. Sarvatra, your buddhi should be unattached, which is very, very difficult. Now, we say in Vaishnavism, what we say? You be asakta from the material world, but asakta from Krishna or his services, or through Vaishnavas, because asakti is there in every single living being. So we cannot quit our asakti. So in Vaishnavism, what we do, we try to dovetail our asakti towards Krishna. And in Jnana Yogi, what do they say? Do sarvatra anasakti, which is very, very difficult. And that's why Prabhupada sometimes used to say, to create a vacuum in mind is very, very difficult. How can you be without any thoughts? Thoughts will be there. So, but what we say in our Krishna consciousness, yes, you can have thoughts, but have positive Krishna consciousness thoughts, rather having material thoughts. And that's what we are in that journey, converting our material thoughts to Krishna conscious thoughts, or trying to attach our material things with Krishna and spiritualizing them. So asakta buddhi sarvatra. So everywhere your buddhi is asakta, unattached, and plus you are jitatma, you are fully self-controlled. Now who can say that? Very, very high stage. But this person, a Gyan Yogi, is jitatma. And last thing, vigat ispraha. Ispraha refers to desires. Vigat means gone. His material desires are gone. So he has no material desires. He is fully self-controlled, and everywhere his buddhi is unattached. So Prabhupada writes, one who is self-controlled, unattached, and who disregards all material enjoyments by practice of renunciation, which is sannyas. The highest perfect stage of freedom from highest perfect stage is siddhim paramam. Freedom from reaction can be achieved. Now, Krishna is describing Jnana Yoga. So remember, we are in this section. So he will describe these things. Let's see how. Who wants to do this? Who hasn't done as yet? Prasanna. Okay, Javati Mataji, please.
Sorry.
No problem.
Siddhim prapto yatha brahma.
Siddhim prapto yatha brahma.
Tathapnoti nibodha me.
Tathapnoti nibodha me.
Samase naiva konteya.
Samase naiva konteya.
Nishtha jnanasya ya para.
Nishtha jnanasya ya para.
O son of Kunti, learn from me how one who has achieved this perfection can attain to the supreme perfectional stage, Brahmana, the stage of the highest knowledge, by acting in the way I shall now summarize.
Thank you, Mataji. So, Siddhim prapto, very simple Hindi. Prapto means prapti or attain. So you want to attain Siddhim in which aspect? Yatha Brahma. So here Brahma refers to absolute truth. Which aspect? We are not discussing that here. Yatha Brahma. So if you want to achieve success in Brahman, means you want to become Brahman realized. Tatha apnoti nibodh me. I will tell you how to do that. Samasena. How I will tell you? Samas refers to summary. I will tell you that process in summary. Konteya, I'll explain to you. Nishtha jnanasya ya para. So by that, you will attain that knowledge, that perfection. In what? In Brahma. Now he will explain many qualities of that Jnana Yogi. So like which we discussed in 1842, 43, 44, the four varnas. Now he explaining about the Jnana Yogi, similar thing. Now there are three verses. Maybe Vijay Gopi Mataji can read that for us.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Buddhaya Vishuddhaya Yukto.
Buddhaya Vishuddhaya Yukto.
Yatmanam niyamya cha.
Dhrityatmanam niyamya cha.
Shabdadin vishayam tyaktva.
Shabdadin vishayam tyaktva.
Ragateshu vidashya cha.
Ragadesha vyudasya cha.
Vivikta sevi latvasi.
Vivikta sevi lagvashi.
Tatvatkaya manashaya.
Yatvak kaya manasaha.
Dhyana yoga para nityam.
Dhyana yoga paro nityam.
Vairagyam samupashritaha.
Vairagyam samupashritaha.
Ahankaram balam darpam.
Ahankaram balam darpam.
Kamam krodam parigraham.
Kamam krodham parigraham.
Vimucha nirmama santo.
Vimucha nirmamaha shanto.
Brahma bhuyaya kalpate.
Brahma bhuyaya kalpate.
Being purified by his intelligence and controlling the mind with determination, giving up the objects of sense gratification, being freed from attachment and hatred, one who lives in a secluded place, who eats little, who controls his body, mind, and power of speech, who is always in trance, and who is attached, free from false ego, false strength, false pride, lust, anger, and acceptance of material things, free from false proprietorship, and peaceful. Such a person is certainly elevated to the position of self-realization. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So such a big list is given if you want to attain the Brahman platform. Now, we are nowhere close to that, and Prabhupada never recommended that as well. Obviously, we can take some qualities which are positive for our enhancement of Krishna consciousness. But let's see the list of this Jnana Yogi. So, Buddhaya Vishuddhaya Yukto. So, he's Yukta, he's well situated in what? In Buddhi, which is Vishuddha. So his buddhi, his intelligence is not contaminated. Now we cannot say no one has, pure good intelligence or pure bad intelligence. We all have intelligence and we use our intelligence for different purposes. If you remember in 3rd chapter, Krishna said in the later part of the chapter, lust sitting places are 3. One is the senses, one is mind, one is intelligence. And then later in the same chapter, Krishna explains, lust can be counteracted by using your intelligence properly. So first he said intelligence is one of the places where lust resides, and then he says intelligence can be used in removing the lust from your intelligence. So basically the point is intelligence, everyone has it. How you use it, that will define. You use it for lusty purposes, for fulfilling your material enjoyment purposes, or you use your intelligence for the Krishna conscious purposes. So here he's saying his buddhi is vishuddha. It does not have any contamination. Very difficult to obtain. Dhriti means determination in what? Atmanam niyamyacha. So Atmanam niyamyacha in self-control. So Atmanam refers to self, niyam is control. He is fully self-controlled. This person is fully self-controlled. His buddhi is very pure, does not have any contamination, which refers to material contamination. Shabdan vishyans tyaktva. So Shabdan, Vishya refers to sense objects. Shabdan refers to one of the sense objects, like we want to hear good music. Suppose before coming to Krishna consciousness or even after it, you heard, I don't know, Hindi movie song or Tamil movie song or some other songs. You love that song, you will keep, murmuring that song when you're alone. But after coming to Krishna consciousness, we like to hear some other songs, some other bhajans, some Vaishnava songs. But he is Tyaktva, he has given up that favorite sound. So basically, you have given up the sense objects. So basically, this is one example is given. So whatever is you love to see through your eyes, you love to hear from your nose, you love to eat. Like some people say, before coming to Krishna consciousness, they used to eat meat, but when they were quitting, they still had the craving for eating meat. But then slowly they get converted. And now they have no attraction for the meat, at least for one thing. So Shabdan Vishayans Tyaktva, he has given up all the sense gratificatory objects. Raga Dvesha Vyudasya. Vyudasya means he has no raga, he is free from raga and dvesha, attachment and hatred. He does not hate anyone, he does not get attached with anyone. Vivekta Sevi. Vivekta Sevi means he lives in a secluded place. Now, for what is the Vaishnava interpretation of this word? Anyone knows? We are also secluded, but we are not secluded from the association of devotees. We are secluded from material association. We cannot live alone, actually. Bhakti cannot be practiced, especially in Kali Yuga, alone. We have to be in the association of devotees to be able to practice bhakti. Otherwise, no matter how strong you are, you will fall down. Example, Bharat Maharaj. Such a highly elevated person, and he also fell down. Why? Because one of the reasons Acharya says, he was living alone. There was no one to correct him when he was looking after the deer. So Vivikta Sevi for a Jnana Yogi means living in a secluded place. For a Vaishnava is we live in the association of Vaishnavas only. We do not interact too much unnecessarily with the materialistic people. Lagvashi, Ashi means acceptance. Anyone remembers a similar word used in Bhagavad Gita elsewhere in a very, very famous verse? Ashi, or similar word, which means acceptance. Ujjwal Mataji is saying something, but you're on mute. I can't hear from Pune.
Asnami Praitatmana.
Ashnami Pratatmana. Thank you, Prabhu. 926. Ashnami. Ashnami refers to accept. I accept. Lagvashi means lagu, chota. So he eats little. Because if he eat a lot, what will happen? You after eating, what will happen? You will go in yoga. Yoga Nidra. Not in chanting yoga, in Nidra yoga. So Lagvashi, you eat little, so your senses are controlled. You are putting your senses for the right purpose. Krishna says in 6:17, if you remember, Yukta har vihara se yukta chesta se karmasu. So everything should be yukta. Whatever is necessary for the body you take. Yat vak kaya manasa. He controls his vak means vani, his speech. He does not speak unnecessarily. Kaya, his whole body, and manasa, mind. Dhyana yoga paro nityam. Nityam, every time he is doing dhyana yoga. So he's doing his meditational activities. Vairagyam samupashita. And he has taken shelter, complete shelter of vairagya. They are very big vairagis. But what do? We use vairagya for the service of Krishna. But if we have to accept a lot of car, lot of money, lot of name and fame, we accept, no problem. Prabhupada said, I could have chanted Hare Krishna under a tree, but who will come and listen? And that's why I'm traveling in Rolls Royce. Sometimes Prabhupada was put in big positions, but he accepted that for the purpose of serving Krishna. So, but this person is Vairagyam Samupashitam. He has taken complete shelter of Vairagya. Ahankar Balam Darpam. Now here, these qualities stop a person to go to that platform. So we are reading those qualities now, or rather I should say disqualifications. Ahankar Balam Darpam. Now Bala is not bad, strength is not bad, but strength used for wrong purpose is bad. We all need Bala. Some physical Bala we need mental Bala, we need spiritual Bala. So Bala itself is not bad. But Darpam of Bala, showing off of Bala, you see I have 8 packs. My Guru Maharaj told a past time in a lecture, I still remember, I just remembered actually on this word. He said he saw a movie or a part of movie somewhere. Anyway, he saw a very beautiful looking man and a woman, and the man was very well built. And they went to a party, they enjoyed the party, very, long and handsome and very muscly person. And when this guy went home, he took his shoes off and his height went 4 inches down. Because he was wearing a heel shoes, and the lady as well. And then he opened his coat and he had all the fake muscles actually. He took that out and he was an 80-year-old man, and then he took his teeth out. So the person who was looking so muscly and tall and handsome, it was all fake. And the lady as well. They were both like 80 or 70-year-old couple. And he saw that in a movie and he was explaining the class. So we show off our Bala, we show off how beautiful I am, how intelligent I am. That Darpa, although we are not, but we show that is wrong. That is wrong. Arjun was very Balwan, Bhim was Balwan, Hanumanji was Balwan. They're using their strength for the right purpose. So Bala itself is not wrong. But if you have Ankar, you are proud of your Bala, you're showing off your Bala, that is wrong. Kamam, Krodham, Parigraham. Kam means refers to your material desires. Krodha is Krodha, anger. Parigraham, unnecessary accumulation. Many times, Grahasthas, ye bhi le lo, take this, take this, take this. This will be useful, that will be useful. And you look at your house after 2 years of buying. Oh my God, some people, they go from 2-bedroom unit to a 4-bedroom house. And initially the whole house is empty. You visit their houses after 2 years. Every single place in the house, especially the garage. Car is always on the street. Garage is full. How did it happen? They just accumulated on the way. Accumulate. My Guru Maharaj used to tell one very nice thing, especially for brahmachari. Tam grasthas, we can take the principle at least. He said, every month you have to clean the place and the cupboard, and if it is not important, throw it out. So we cannot do every month cleanup. We can do one maha cleanup in our houses or apartments, whatever you have, and then see if we really need this, or we are over accumulating things, and then all these things come on our head. And Maharaj said, Guru Maharaj said, if you have a simple life, you have more time for Krishna. It's very nice. Live simply, you have more time. If you have complex life, less time for Krishna. So give more time to Krishna rather than this. And again, you may have different necessities, but just whatever simplicity is possible in your life, in your stage, do that. So parigraham, no unnecessary accumulation. Vimucha means he's out of that. Nirmama, anyone can explain this? We have read this many times in Bhagavad Gita. Nirmama. Mama means me. Nirmama, not me. So it does not mean he doesn't have any belongings or possessions. He may have a big house and a big car, but nirmama, he doesn't have possessive mentality. Many times we have more possessive mentality than the possessions. So possessive mentality is being condemned, not the possessions. So it says grahas ashram is not condemned. Every ashram can lead you to become a pure devotee. It's the attachment in that ashram or with the unnecessary things which is condemned many times. That's why it says sannyasi may not reach back to Godhead. Radha Govind Maharaj said in lecture, sannyasi may go back to actually Patal Loka, Narak Loka, because he's not practicing Krishna consciousness. He has taken sannyas just to make his livelihood. So that sannyas is not recommended. A grahastha can be a pure devotee or a sannyasi can be. So it doesn't matter which ashram you are and which varna, which ashrama and all that. But possessive mentality is wrong. I show to the whole world how great I am. Brahma. So if you have all these qualities, and I have not counted how many, Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate, you are elevated to the position of Brahman or self-realization. So pretty lengthy list, If we have to go in each and every one, and if our gurus would have told us you have to do all this before you can become a devotee, none of us will be here. None of us will be here. But even our seniors tell you can have everything and come to Krishna consciousness, even if you find it difficult. With all your possessions, with all your family, with all your bad qualities external, you can still join Krishna conscious movement. You still practice Krishna consciousness. We still find it difficult. Imagine if we had to leave everything. Vivikta Sevi, who will go in Himalayas and live? Lagvashi, you ask on Vyasa Puja of any Maharaj. I went to Vyasa Puja and I was trying to take less, although I did not, trying to take less. And this devotee comes, Ghanshyam Prabhu, you have to overeat. If you don't overeat, it's an offense. He was kidding, obviously, don't take it from heart. But we overeat every day. Every day we over. Lagvashi. We are told again and again to eat less, but we always prasadam, when you go in front of prasadam, all the theories are left behind. And after you have taken prasadam till here, then you feel like, why did I eat so much? So all these qualities are meant for Jnana Yogi, but again, we take the principle. If Lagvashi, Vivikta Sevi is important for our cultivation of Krishna, we definitely take this. If you read a Prabhupada purport, he converts the whole Jnana Yogi purport into a Bhakti Yogi purport. Why? He are taking the principle, whatever anukulasya sankalpam pratikulasya varjanam. Whatever is anukul, favorable to Krishna consciousness, we take. We take that. And pratikulasya varjanam. Okay. 1854, one of the most famous verses of Bhagavad Gita. I'm not sure, Rupam Prabhu, it's in your list or not. It must be in your personal list. It is?
It is there.
It is. Thank you.
55 is there.
55. Okay. But 54,
54 is
please.
also
Okay. Please take this in your personal list. It's very, very nice verse. Who
It's
would
there,
like to
Prabhu,
read?
it's there.
Who hasn't?
It's part
Who
of the
hasn't
I can
read?
do.
Boy Prabhu, your turn is finished. Sorry. Your
Okay.
quota is finished for
No,
the
I like
day.
this verse. That's why it's really nice.
Yeah, no problem. Who
I can
wants
do
to do? Who hasn't done?
I can do that.
Okay.
I can do.
Okay, Rupam Prabhu. You
Yes.
get the turn. After a long time, we are having your darshan.
Thank you, Prabhu. Brahma Bhuta Prasanatma
Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma
Na Shochati Na Kakshati
Na Shochati Na Kankshati
Sama Sarveshu Bhuteshu
Samah sarveshu bhuteshu
Madbhaktim labhate param.
madbhaktim labhate param.
Translation: one who is thus transcendently situated at once realizes the Supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. He never laments or desires to have anything. He is equally disposed toward every living entity. In that state, he attains pure devotional service unto me. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So, as I said, Prabhupada quoted this verse many times, 54 and 55 as well. So let's read what it is. It's a continuation from the previous verse, which we have read, 1853, Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. You are situated on the Brahman platform. Now, what happens there? So first, to get situation, you need all those mentalities, which we mentioned in 51 to 53. Once you are there, what happens? Brahma Bhuta, the first thing which happens, Prasannatma Prabhu, where are you? Here. So Prasannatma, so this is the word, this is a verse where I think his Guru Maharaj has taken his beautiful name and is perfectly valid for Prabhuji. Is always Prasannatma. Okay, so Brahma Bhuta, if you are situated on the Brahman platform, the first thing happens, Jivatma is very happy, very happy. Now, it doesn't mean if you are unhappy for some reasons, you are not Brahma Bhuta. Prabhupada said actually, all the devotees are pure devotees. Prabhupada said that. Yeah, they may not be the ripe mango, from green mango to ripe mango, but they're all mangoes, they're all devotees. So again, in Krishna consciousness as well, we have so many anxieties, but anxiety for Krishna is very good. Prabhupada said we should take more anxieties for Krishna, but for material things, we should not take over anxiety. Yes, we have to attend them, whatever is needed. So first thing which happened, Prasannatma. Now, Prasannatma does not just refers to our external smile. If that was the only meaning that we'll all have, in Hindi it's called gudgudi. I don't know what you call it in English. When you do gudgudi to the kids. Anyone remembers the English? Tickling. Thank you. Gudgudi has more gudguda meaning. It's more rasa. It's like, butter and makhan. Anyway, so tickling, Mohit Prabhu and Jamati Mataji, thank you. So if you do tickling, so kids smile, or sometimes they laugh and they giggle and all that. So we can do tickling to each other or to ourselves and we can smile. So it doesn't work that way. Prasannatma refers to your internal smile, your internal joy. And when you are internally smiling and happy, it doesn't matter external situations. So the first thing which happens to the Jivatma, to the Jiva, he's internally happy. Why he's internally happy? Because he's situated on the platform of Sat, Chit and Ananda. Ananda. There is an Ananda in the Jivatma. Why this Ananda? Because Krishna is Anandamaya Bhyasat. He is the source of all the Ananda. So Jiva is also a part and particle, obviously, of Krishna, has a Ananda, which Jivatma is not experiencing at the moment. Why? Because we are covered with the three modes of material nature. So much anarthas are covering us. Some people have less covering, some people have more covering because of that. But when these material things, the material modes are removed, what happens? Jivatma feels that joy. It's called Prasannatma. So Brahma Bhuta, Prasannatma. And what else happens? Na Shochati. Shochati refers to past. So many things in the past which may have happened with all of us, on which we lament, this thing happened 3 years ago, that thing happened 5 years ago, and what if this happened and this happened? So much our mental energy goes in the past, Sochati. But this Jiva who is situated on Brahman platform, na Sochati, he doesn't have any lamentation. Because what do we lament? Does any one of us lament anyway, unless you are a pure devotee? Lament for Krishna? We only lament for material things. What we planned to get and we couldn't get. We lament for those things. And Kankshati refers to future. In future, I want, this number of money, this number of followers, this number of that and that and that. So we Kankshati, a Jiva is always involved in past or future. And Kapil Muni says to Devhuti mother in Srimad Bhagavatam, again, a devotee, if you consider a bird which has two feathers, one is lamentation and one is Kankshati. One is Sochati, one is Kankshati. A devotee cuts off both feathers. He does not lament and he does not have any aspiration, any material aspiration for future. Why? He's depending fully on Krishna. Whatever has happened was the desire and a plan of Krishna, and whatever will happen will also be the plan of Krishna for my benefit. Even something so-called bad has happened to us, it was Lord's mercy. And if something will bad happen tomorrow, it is Lord's mercy. So every time devotee thinks it's Lord's mercy, so he does not lament and does not have any kanksha. Now, how many of us do that? We don't know, but this is what the aspiration is, because we are not fully dependent on Krishna as yet. But we all can experience some sochati and some kankshati have reduced after coming to Krishna consciousness. Is it right? Otherwise, we'll become mad by material exhaustions, material slappings. Something has reduced because we have some dependency. But as our dependency on Krishna increases, sochati kankshati will completely cut off. Samah sarveshu bhuteshu. How does he see the living entity? Equipoised. He doesn't have raga and desha. He is my friend, he is my enemy. It doesn't work like that. So on that platform, he sees every living entity as equal. And the most important thing which happens on this platform, mad bhaktim labhate param. He will achieve my devotional service. And what sort of devotional service? Param, transcendental, not mixed devotion. Not mixed devotion. So once you are on that platform, so many times Mayavadi says, bhakti is a tool which you can use to attain Brahman. So bhakti is a pre-level practice before you attain Brahman. But as per this verse, bhakti is a post-graduation activity once you attain the Brahman, isn't it? So once you are on the Brahman platform, Brahma Bhuta, you're situated there, like you're going to Melbourne, for example, right? Once you are in Melbourne, what do you do? So you have achieved Brahman. What do? You have no sochati, you have no kankshati. You're living all the living entities very equally. You are prasanna from your heart because Atma has that prasanna quality inbuilt in every single jiva. And mad bhaktim, you will labhate, you will attain. What you will attain? My param bhaktim. So this verse is a big refute of Mayavad. Big refute of Mayavad. Anyone else can remember a big refutation of Mayavad from Bhagavad Gita? Very famous verse. I didn't plan to ask this, but it just comes to my mind. A big refutation of Mayavad. So Krishna has given so many refutations of Mayavad throughout Bhagavad Gita, but some examples we can take. 2.12. Natvevaham jatu nasam natam neme jana. Individuality of the soul. Soul never merges. Never merges. We'll read that in 1855 as well. So bhakti is not a pre-graduation activity, it's a post-graduation activity. You will achieve bhakti once you're situated on Brahman platform. And all of these devotees, Prabhupada said, they are already situated on Brahman platform because they are surrendered to Krishna. So we don't have to develop all the qualities which we discuss in 51 to 53. Because we have surrendered to Krishna, and which we'll read slowly. This is what the section we are coming into. Mad Bhakti Labhate Param, you will achieve my transcendental devotional service. And I'll just read Prabhupada translation. In that state, he attains pure devotional service, Param Bhakti, unto me. Now, this Prasannatma is not considered the highest joy. There is a lot of joy, no doubt about it. It's not the highest joy. They say there's a Brahmananda. So there is a Jivananda in this material world. We experience some Ananda in the highest pleasing activity as per normal material terms, male-female attraction. And there's a Devananda. Devananda means Devlok also they're enjoying Ananda. And there's a Brahmananda. And the topmost is Bhaktyananda. That's why Rupa Goswami says, Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. There is a Sindhu, there's an ocean of Ananda which a Jiva experiences when he is serving Krishna. And in front of that ocean, Brahmananda, which is a lot, is like a drop. It's like a drop. So if you have an ocean and a drop to enjoy, which one you will enjoy? Ocean. So a bhaktas enjoy that ocean of devotional service. Okay. Questions? Akhand Rasa Prabhu or Mataji? You can put Control-Shift-M, a shortcut from your keyboard.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Just some clarification on this verse. This is the Jnana section, right?
Yes.
And in this we are talking about
Now we are moving from Jnana to Bhakti. So this is a transition verses. You can see 1854, 55, and 56 pure Bhakti section. Because if you remember Mataji from MIH guide as well, we are trying to connect, Krishna is trying to connect, not we. Krishna is trying to connect Karma Yoga through Jnana Yoga to Bhakti Yoga. And this is why Bhakti Yoga supremacy is established in this chapter. So he has explained Jnana Yoga earlier as well. He has explained Karma Yoga earlier as well. Now here he is explaining the summary and relating them together and how they lead to the highest perfection, which is Bhakti Yoga. And if you see the difference between 53 and 54, you see that different.
So when
yeah,
when we talk about like this verse translation, it talks about this person is transcendently situated, realizes Supreme Brahman. So we are still talking about the Brahman platform, because three levels of understanding: the Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan. So this particular one is talking about only Brahman level.
Brahman platform.
Brahman.
And we'll come to Paramatma and then we'll come to Bhagwan realization.
So even at the Brahman level, the person becomes fully joyful and never laments. So all these qualities starts, coming into that person right from the beginning at the Brahman
No,
level.
this is the end. Once he is situated there. So for a Jnana Yogi Mataji, just imagine coming into a school, Jnana Yoga school, I mean, coming through all the stages of, kindergarten, year 1, year 2, and all that. And then he does PhD and he says, now I've got the biggest certificate, right? I am situated on Brahman platform. Then how he experienced, that's what is described in this verse. So he has gone through a long stages, and that's why achieving Brahman stage is not easy, actually, not easy. And that's why Prabhupada said, if you are working so hard for that, why don't you work hard for the Krishna? It's much less hard work. If you remember, Mataji, in 9th chapter, we read 21 verses there for achieving the heavenly planets. You have to do a lot of yagyas and you have to do a lot of dharma, artha, and kama and all that, and you achieve. And then Chide Punya Mritilokam Vishanti. And then in 25th verse, Krishna says, Yanti Devrata Devan Pittan Yanti Pitrata. So whoever worship Devatas, they go to Devloka. And then 926 he says, but my bhakti is very easy. Patram Pushpam Phalam Toye. We don't have to perform big yagyas and do this and that. My bhakti is very easy, and my bhakti is permanent. It gives a permanent result to you. So this situation is achieved after a lot of practice. And then when you achieve these qualities, but after a lot of practice. And then also you are not achieved the highest perfection, because you have no relationship with Krishna. You are there. You are joyful. Atma is joyful. You are feeling Brahmananda, which is a lot higher than a best male-female attraction in the material world, which is nothing. But even after that, there's a whole ocean of Bhakti Ananda, which they miss out. And that's what Prabhupada said. Even the Mayavadis or Brahmavadis, they achieve that perfection. After a long time staying there, which seems like a Shashwat Kal, eternal Kal, they come down as philanthropist, like a social worker, because every living entity has this tendency to serve.
So basically it's talking about what does a person experience upon reaching the highest platform.
Absolutely, Mataji. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Jai Dharma Prabhu.
I want to clarify, Prabhu, because in one of the other slokas, I think 1426, it starts with like Mamcha Yogya Vicharena Bhakti Yogena Sevata, and at the end it says Gunan Samtatitan Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. So there it starts with person who is doing an unalloyed devotional service. Finally, it will say he'll come to the raise above the modes of nature, material modes of nature, and comes to the Brahman stage. Whereas in this, it started with Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma, situated, one is situated, and then finally he'll come to the Bhakti. So these two are like complementing each other, right?
Yes,
I mean,
it's 1426. Yes, Prabhuji. Very good relation, Prabhuji. So in 1426, Krishna says, if you're out of the modes of material nature, Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate, the same three words are used there. You're situated. But just being situated there does not mean your journey is finished. Although that situation is also out of the modes of material nature, and you are situated in self-joy. Yeah.
Finally, they'll come to...
And finally, you will reach to the service of Krishna, which we're going to touch now. So if you look in this Amaichi guide, this is the next section, 56 onwards. So we are in the transitioning verses 54 and 55. Okay. Okay. If anyone has any other quick question or comment, we'll take it. Otherwise, we'll stop for today, and then we'll continue from verse 55 next week, which is again a very famous verse. And we have to understand it properly, because many times it can be interpreted as a Mayavadi translation, because there's a word used here Vishyate. Vishyate means entering. All the Vaishnavas know these meanings. Okay, Rupam Prabhu, any announcements or anything? Rupam Prabhu is replacing Sundar Gopal Prabhu today.
For today. Yeah, no Prabhu.
Okay. So have a happy rest of the holidays wherever you are. Come back home safely if you have not come back, and if you have come back, we'll see you each other in temple sometime. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Sudarshan Chakra ki jai. Gaur Premanand.
Jai.
One last
Hari
thing before you
Bol.
all go. Sorry, one quick thing. Thank you for those who have sent the assignments. So I know holidays was not the best period, but some devotees have submitted. So really very, very thank you to all of you who have submitted. If you have not done it, so end of this month, I think we decided 30th of January is the last day. So please start on it if you haven't done it as yet. And for the essay, please make sure you write your own essay. I don't want a fancy essay. Just write in your own simple English. Even if the English is broken, I don't mind, as far as you can understand the principle. Give references. You don't have to cut, copy, paste the shlokas, which you can put in a different color if you can. If you cut, copying anything, write your own understanding. We are in the end of Bhagavad Gita now. There's only 2 essays to be written. So please write in your own time, but write with your own mind, whatever your understanding is, and with your own natural words. That would be very nice if you can do that.
Prabhu,
We'll
one
try to
question
do
I
the
have.
revision.
Yeah, sorry.
It's a quick one, Mata,
Uh,
because 9:03.
Yeah, but just one quick. Are we going to discuss the questions like we
Yes.
normally do?
I was just going to say,
So we were
yes,
waiting for that before submitting the homework.
you can submit it, Mataji. It's all right. You can submit. You can just improve it in your own. It's not like a formal document.
Because in case we miss out something, then we
That's
just
okay.
want to go through
I
that.
would say please submit. One devotee today only emailed me that they want to improve their answers, and that's perfectly fine. So I would say submit it if you have done it, and you can improve your answer. So once we finish 18th chapter, we'll go through all the 6 chapters quickly in one class, and we'll do some revisions as well before the exam. I think we'll have 2 classes at least for the revision purpose. We'll do that. But please submit. Don't wait. They're not so difficult questions. And if you find you can improve your answers, just improve and resubmit that time. But we'll try to do that within 30th of January, all that. Don't wait for 29th of January to come. Okay, Hare Krishna. Let's stop here.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.